Lovely black butterfly, spreading my wings.
Hello, Lovely Black Butterfly here for another video. If you're already a subscriber to my channel, welcome back to the Butterfly's Nest. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and click that subscription button and click the notification bell so that you're notified each and every time I upload a new video. So before we do a mukbang today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook breakfast. The first thing I'm going to do, I don't know if you guys have seen it, is pretty much the viral video of TikTok. It's all over TikTok, it's all over YouTube, and it is the whipped coffee. So I'm gonna attempt to make that today. I hope it turns out well. I'm not really a iced coffee drinker. I do like a frappuccino, but I'm more of a hot coffee. So I'm gonna make it as a hot drink, and what I'm gonna do is, after I make the whip, I am going to steam my milk in my espresso maker. Just steam some milk. I'm gonna try not to froth it. I'm gonna just try to steam it so that it can be a hot drink instead of an iced coffee. So, from what I understand, what we need is instant coffee, and this is what I've got. It says it's a cinnamon flavor coffee, Nescafe, but it is an instant coffee. So from what I understand, we need equal parts. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the coffee. Ooh. I'm gonna tell y'all what, I have never liked instant coffee ever. Ever. When I was a little girl, that was all my mom drank, was instant coffee. And she would make me instant coffee, and it would be more milk and just like the slightest bit of coffee in it, just to give it some color. But I've never liked instant coffee, so I hope this tastes good. I don't like the way this smells. But anyway, so we're gonna start out with 2 tablespoons of instant coffee in the bowl. Now I love the way ground coffee and fresh coffee smells, or whole coffee beans, because that's what I buy, whole coffee beans, and I ground it in my coffee bean grinder. But from what I understand, you can make it using a brewed coffee, but the process is longer. And so what you have to do is you have to brew your coffee, and then you have to reduce that liquid in a pan with the sugar in order to make this whipped coffee. And I don't want to go through all that. And it may not be as long of a process if I did it with an espresso, because I do have an espresso maker. So I'm gonna do this first, since this is the most popular way, and the way that I've heard that it's the best way to make it. I'm gonna make it this way first, and then I'll experiment with doing it with espresso. So like I said, it's supposed to be equal parts. So to the 2 tablespoons of coffee, I am adding 2 tablespoons of sugar, as well as 2 tablespoons of hot water. Now, this isn't quite as hot as it was when I first took it out the microwave, but hopefully it's hot enough. Add it a little more. I hope it don't hurt it. Because the sugar and the coffee was heaping spoons, so I added a little bit more water than the 2 tablespoons. I hope this don't hurt. All right, so I'm stirring that up a little bit just to get that dissolved. Now, from what I'm told, or what I've seen in the videos, is that it can be made with a hand whisk, but it takes like 400 strokes with a hand whisk. So we are going to use my electric hand mixer. As you guys know, if you watch any of my videos, I do have a stand mixer, but I don't feel like bringing out that heavy stand mixer just to do this. So we're going to turn this on and start it up. I'm going to start it on somewhat of a low setting, just so I can get it mixed up. I'm going to mute the sound in this video, probably, so it's not so loud for you guys. So I'm supposed to whip it until it's in stiff peaks. It's not quite in stiff peaks, so give me a moment. I'm going to go get a spatula so I can scrape the bowl down and see if we can beat this a little bit more and get it into stiff peaks. So I'll be right back. While I was away, I went ahead and steamed some milk in my frothing pitcher. So I am going to go ahead and scrape this down real quick. That should be enough. And yeah, I think we got some pretty stiff peaks here now. So I'm gonna sit this over here. And before I do this, I have some Ghirardelli sea salt caramel sauce that I am going to line the inside of my cup with. Put some down at the bottom. Then I am going to add my steamed milk. Then I am going to add some of this whipped coffee. That's pretty. And I'm gonna add one. All right, so this is a hot version. So this is salted caramel and cinnamon, because the coffee flavor is supposed to be cinnamon. Then I've got my salted caramel. So we are going to go ahead and stir this up a bit. And I hope it tastes better in the milk, because this right here, it is so bitter. So let's see how this goes. It's not bad with the milk. It's actually really good. I think I should have just gotten a plain coffee maybe. I don't really care for this cinnamon coffee, but that's what I bought, so that's what I'm going to be using. And like I said, I'm also going to try this to me what this is like a reverse latte, where you have the coffee at the bottom and then you have the frothed milk on top, or cappuccino maybe, a reverse cappuccino. But it's actually not bad once you get it mixed into the milk. All right, so put a little bit of caramel sauce on top. All right. So now that I've made my coffee, I need my straw. We're going to move on to phase 2 of breakfast, in which I'm making a brioche French toast. So the first thing I'm going to do is crack 2 eggs in my bowl. Along with some milk. right back. Grab a few things. I'm sorry about that, guys. I realized I didn't have my microphone on when I came back with my steamed milk and all that crap. Okay, so now we're back in business. Okay, so we're back with some butter for my cooktop. I also have a little bit of salt for my, oh God, got a little bit of salt for my custard. Just a little. We're also going to do just a touch of sugar. Not much. Some vanilla extract. And this is just a great value vanilla, but it's pure vanilla. I don't use imitation vanilla. I try not to use imitation anything. So we've got the, and we're just gonna, and a touch of cinnamon. All right, so we're gonna beat this up, and I've got an old-fashioned egg beater here that we're gonna beat this up with. Because I do want this well incorporated. I'm going to turn off this cooktop for a minute because it feels a little warm here. So while we're beating this, I'll turn it back on while my bread is soaking. Okay, and what I have, I'm not sure how good this is because this is my first time trying it. I normally buy an actual brioche loaf from the bakery section in the store, but I decided to try this. So this is Nature's Own perfectly crafted brioche style bread, and it's thick sliced, so it should be perfect for French toast. So I'm going to take a slice of bread and I am going to soak it. Take out another slice because we're going to do two here. Depending on how much egg, how much custard that makes, we may actually do 3. But for now, we're going to do 2. I'm still kind of digging on my whipped coffee here. Like I said, I'm not an I don't like iced coffee, but I do like fraps. So I'm also going to try that as a frap and see how it works. So I'm going to add some butter to my cooktop. And we're going to turn this back on. My problem is I don't know, because my temperatures on the dial have worn off, so I'm not even quite sure what the temperature is on this cooktop anymore. I'm just winging it. I want to say right now I've turned this all the way up. Not quite as far as it can go. So I'm going to say it's probably right at about I turned it down a little bit. Maybe it's at 375. I'm not real sure. But so I'm gonna go ahead and flip my bread. And we're gonna put it on the cooktop, and we're gonna go ahead and soak our second piece of bread. This seems to be soaking, these two pieces seem to be soaking up the custard pretty good. So I guess we're gonna only have 2 pieces of French toast, which is good for me. That's all I really wanted. But if the custard would have made a 3rd piece, I would have done that as well. Wow. Either I soaked that too long, or I could have used a 3rd egg in this. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? While my French toast is busy cooking on that side, I'm going to go ahead and make me 2 over medium eggs on this side. And I've already got bacon cooking or cooked in the air fryer. So okay, that is the, I don't think you guys saw that. The key to not having your eggs spread out all over the place is to get it, is to open it or crack it as close to your cooking surface as possible. And it doesn't spread that much. So we're going to add a little bit of salt. And as you guys know, I like to use Himalayan pink salt. Along with coarse black pepper. And I like a lot of black pepper on my eggs. or attempt to flip my eggs. And by the time we come back, by the time that's done, I'm gonna come back and we're gonna be ready to eat. We're gonna have a breakfast mukbang. See you guys in a bit.